You can just see it in the way they cheer and the way that they get into the game.
Probably tells you how special Oregon is.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
We've got a lot of football to talk about, but first and foremost, it is volleyball season. Head coach Trent Kersten leads us off from the Country Financial Studio. Welcome back.
How we doing?
It's been way too long since you've been here. It's been a few months since we've had Coach Kersten fill up the chair because he is one of the tallest guests that we get in the Country Financial Studio. Are you the tallest staff member?
I would not be shocked if I was the tallest.
I think you are.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive you're the tallest member of the Oregon Athletic Department staff. So how's the weather up there?
Oh, come on. Gosh, it's been what does Coach say? It's damn green in Eugene.
That's
so
right.
We'll stick with that one.
I love it. I love it. Well, we have a lot to cover. Green and yellow scrimmage coming up here before you know it. But let's just go back in time with you, Coach Kersten. I mean, what you been doing? How's the team looking here heading into the year?
Yeah, so I mean, the spring was such a big deal for us because we didn't get that the year before, right? And so we got 6 months of really, really good strength and conditioning, really good training block, working on some things that we needed to address in our gym without the stressors of competition, right? And the team did a great job this summer. We hosted a bunch of summer camps, which got us interacting with our community a bunch, which was, just great. Cool. It's cool to see like our team inspiring some of the love for the game, in some of those camps. And so thanks to everyone that came to camps this summer. It was a blast. And now I just get to coach. Like, I feel like I get to do what I love right now. Double days is my favorite time of the year, and so basically 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.-ish is I just get to coach all day and give feedback.
Can you quantify for fans the value of the time that you've had in the spring and then also just even a little bit of roster continuity here as you stand in practice now?
Yeah, I think one of the questions I got asked last year at one of our chalk talks was like, hey, you're trying to build this plane while you're flying it in some ways last year, and that's kind of what last season was. What percentage do you think is built? And I was like, 30%. It was like that Madagascar cartoon where, like, you know the scene I'm talking about. It's like, oh man, this doesn't feel very safe. Like that was the status of our plane, and so it just let us build some foundation, build some structure around how we're doing things, and some of the important parts of a strength and conditioning program. And again, luckily we have one of the goats, let's be honest, in Coach Radcliffe, and he does such a good job of implementing everything that we're trying to do and how we're trying to play, and I think you're seeing that on the court right now in our training environment.
You talked too about like the safety of your plane, if I could, but that's one thing, feeling that way as a coach. How about for the team too? Just even the comfortability factor of being around Eugene. You've got now veterans of the Eugene area, right?
Yeah, I think it's just you get into a rhythm a little bit more. You start figuring out, like, okay, what does this take for me to play at my best more and more often? And last season our highs were really good. I think we had 3 top 15 wins.
That's right.
That was incredible for us to do that in year one. But our average needed to be better, right? And I think everyone on our team would, be able to share that with you. And and so how do we address those things? Well, we got to be consistent. We got to show up every day. And so when you're in a rhythm and you're familiar and you know what to expect going everywhere, whether it's marketed choice across the street or our training room or our nutritionist, like whatever it is, like you know what to expect. And I think that helps us just be more consistent.
Trent Kersten, Oregon Volleyball head coach, with us to kick things off today. Unpack the roster for us. We'll talk schedule. Green and yellow scrimmage coming up this weekend. Big Ten Network and all of the TV partners have also announced the dates, so times are starting to cycle through on the schedule page on GoDucks.com. But how about your roster? Tell us about your team.
Yeah, I think super exciting with the 2 people that I got to take to Big Ten Media Days, and Val and Alana.
Veterans now.
Veterans now. Alana, it's crazy to say. Alana's an 18-year-old veteran on our team. I think she'll have her 19th birthday during our season at some point. But gosh, so lucky to get to coach both of them. Val is everything. If I could model, a work ethic of one player that I've ever gotten to coach, it would probably be Val.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like if my 4-year-old Colby and Reese, Colby's 4, Reese is 2, if they have one person to look up to as far as work ethic and how they do things, it's Val.
That's a big compliment.
Yeah.
So Val, no pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty big compliment coming from Coach Kersten. That's cool to hear, though.
Yeah, and so, those two returning are such a big deal to us, and their level has just gone up. Val's a little bit more polished as a passer right now. Alana's figuring out how to be more and more efficient, and we're getting her blocking back up to speed so far this fall. We just jump tested. I think Alana touched 10.7.5, which is pretty far up there, right? And so we're more physical than we were last fall, and I think that's again credit to Coach Rad, our staff, our training staff, etc.
Well, it's easy to sit here and talk about like all of the positives, and I think some of them are obvious, right, with continuity and just the comfortability, but then too to come back to the player, even the leadership forefront, right? I imagine that's a big part for this team too.
Yeah, well, we have actual leadership, captains. Contingent right now,
right.
And the team voted on that, and our captains this year are Cam, Marina, and Val. And just their consistency and how they show up and how they're trying to operate and how they're trying to be a player-led team. Every coach kind of talks about that, but how does it look day to day? Well,
right.
I need them to take some of the small rock stuff off of our staff's plate. Like they need to be able to handle some, and also I need to be able to collect feedback from them very efficiently on, hey, how do we structure this off day? This is a weird week. What do you guys think here? Can we lift on a day when we're flying back from Minnesota or something like that? Can we lift here to give you guys the off day, and just collect feedback very efficiently instead of trying to get 16 people feedback and then it's all over the place, right? So.
Right. It's amazing how much more efficient things can get.
Yeah.
I imagine, right? When you have that conduit, that communication. We continue to talk volleyball with Trent Kersten. Okay, so the leadership. Also, though, then some new faces on your team that fans are going to get to know this weekend.
Man, there's a lot. I mean, Laura Eichert was such a star, and she's from the Pacific Northwest, and she's having some really big highs in her gym where she's highly efficient and she's getting after it, and then she's also getting crushed on some days with processing the game, and the game is so fast, and we had a conversation the other day hey, this is part of it. This is what makes this so special, and we also have another freshman or another few freshmen, Marlena, who's one of the most physical blockers at her position. She's a setter from the East Coast for us, and man, I'm so excited about her future, and and she can express herself as a blocker and be very physical at the net, and she needs to clean up her setting, and she needs to keep working through that. Cam is in a completely different place than she was last year, which is exciting for us. What else? Shockey, who I got to go see in the Netherlands this summer at U22. I got to meet her whole family. She was playing in front of her home crowd. She was named best outside at the tournament. I think that they won a bronze medal, which was really special in front of their home,
cool.
And their family and stuff like that. And so it was really cool to go see her compete and play. Who else we got? Who am I missing?
You hit most of the ones that I was going to ask you about. Malia just coming in from the back row.
Yeah.
I if I could, though, I want to pause. You talk about a couple freshmen. Your freshman class, and we touched on this briefly in the spring, but just to revisit, you really went all over the country.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you remember what that first spring was like for me.
I do.
We had one returner, and I think I logged 30,000 miles or something like that.
Yeah, you were all over the place.
Yeah. But one of the cool things about being a part of this profession for so long is all of a sudden people were calling and saying hey, if there's anything we can do to help, let's figure this out.
Cool.
This roster wasn't built by me. It wasn't just built by our staff. We put a lot of effort into it, but we had a lot of help from our community and just people that were fans of us. And so that was really cool, and I think has springboarded our program to be really we're playing some good volleyball right now. It is exciting. Yeah.
We haven't talked about the preseason top 25 ranking. We'll get there in a moment, but you mentioned something that I kind of want to unpack a bit. You spend all those hours to recruit last year's team, kind of paid some dividends moving forward then, it sounds like, right? You're establishing what this program is under your leadership.
Yeah, for sure. I think the other thing about establishing and continuing to build on that is just continuity of staff.
No doubt, yeah.
Right, and so we were able to retain everyone on staff. We were able to hire Jerry full-time tech, which is a really big deal to me because I'm a pretty analytical guy, and he was a GA for us last year, and so he had the encumbrance of school.
That's right.
And so he was splitting time, but now he's full-time, and so I'm putting him to work, and we're getting after it.
I'm glad that you were here at the start of the show. I don't know if you noticed that as an homage to that, we left it in the show open where you lift him up and you saved yourself. Great video. Great video. It's in the show open. We made sure to keep it in there for you.
Man, I almost lost my knee in that instance.
But you're still, look at you. You're still here.
Yeah.
All set.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
You learn a few lessons when you travel in the Big Ten for the first time, and one of the really tough places to play is Purdue, and it's really hard to win, and like everyone tells you about it. And so if you are ever lucky enough to win there, just know the locker rooms is a little slippery.
Little slippery. Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, last year Coach Kersten picked up Jerry in celebration. Like, it's a good moment, right?
Yeah.
And our ace videography team caught it, and Coach Kersten was a little slippery.
Yeah.
Went on the skates, recovered, did not go. Well done. Athleticism at its finest.
Hashtag athlete. Yes.
Hashtag athlete.
100%.
I mean, look, we got it. Look at that. It's perfect. It's perfect. Right in the show open. Every day we get to see it and relive it. So.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Trent Kersten with us. A green and yellow scrimmage is coming up. We will talk through the roster more. I feel like it's a bit unfair to ask you at this point, like, do you have an idea of a rotation? So the way I'll ask that instead is after a green and yellow scrimmage where you see what things look like when the lights go on, I imagine that's a big evaluation for what your rotation is going to look like.
Big evaluation, but, I was sharing this with Alana as she was getting ready to go train with the Brazilian national team this past summer. I was like, hey, this is just a blip on your radar, as far as your career goes. Like, you're really trying out for this team every single day of your career. And if you do that over time and you treat it that seriously, you're going to be ready when your number is called.
Right.
And so that's kind of the same message I've shared with our team. You're trying out for your spot every single day you show up to our gym, and we're going to try and plan things accordingly. We're going to give you a chance to be playing at your peak, but you're also going to have to figure out how to play at your 80% and still play a winning brand of volleyball, because that's what we want to do. Right. As we had said earlier, like, our average needs to be better this year.
Well, and talking too about the depth of your team, right? I imagine you feel pretty good about it heading into this.
Yeah, our middles are definitely more deep. We only had two middles last year. That was tough, and that put Holly in a pretty unfair situation because she had to really learn on the fly, and she was kind of thrown into the fire. And so we've got four middles that all can really play right now. The one place we're a little thin on, but really confident in these three is our outside hitter position. Like, we only have three, which is pretty rare going into a season. Luckily, Alana and Marley can both hit on the left and the right, and so there's some flexibility that we can use there. But between Laura, Val, and Shockey, like, they're gonna carry a pretty big load for us in the gym in the practice environment. Yeah,
a lot of swings. Well, I'm looking forward to the green and yellow scrimmage, if you will, at Matthew Knight Arena, 1 o'clock on Saturday. Come out at MKA. All the details are on GoDucks.com. Free admission for the exhibition, green versus yellow. Who's going to win?
I'll probably not wear green or yellow.
Smart. Well, look, you went with the stripes today, the black and gray. See, he's already planning ahead.
There we go.
I think that's a wise move. All right, we'll get a timeout here in a moment, but first, before we let you go, anything else you want fans to know? What did we miss today?
I think you crushed it like always, but just super excited to play in front of our fans for the first time this fall, and I know our team is really looking forward to that. Thank you to everyone that bought season tickets. We hit over our record from last year.
Nice.
And so,
well done, fans.
I really appreciate our community just really embracing this team and continuing to support us.
Awesome. Number 25 in the preseason poll. We'll talk about that later. Trent Kersten, Oregon Volleyball head coach. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. When we come back, Val Johnson will join us. No word yet on if her work ethic is equal to another Val. We're going to talk about that next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Jan on the street. Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Summer's not over at the National Sales Event, so I'm taking to the streets to see how people are keeping summer fun going with a new Toyota. Excuse me, sir. How are you making summer last longer with your Toyota?
Dropping my BZ to the park to play kickball with friends. Kickball is life.
Love the passion. Jan on the street.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Proud sponsors at
We
Bigfoot.
continue. Val Johnson's here. She's ready. She's locked in. Okay, so we have to unpack a few things here in the Country Financial Studio. Our Deputy Athletic Director, Senior Woman Administrator Val Johnson is here. We made sure to have Val on today because today was Trent Kersten's first day in the studio.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then I got to sneak in,
That's
too.
right, the new season, and I wanted to make sure that you were on today to get ready for the Green and Yellow exhibition coming up, Green and Yellow scrimmage. You are the volleyball sport administrator. We know, and we just found out that Wednesday continues to be, you will find Val at Matthew Knight Arena instead of here every Wednesday. But also Val is a not just self-proclaimed, but a proclaimed big fan of a certain soda product. Thanks to our friends at Bigfoot Beverages, we have some in the fridge.
Thank you, Bigfoot.
So she brought us Dr. Pepper cupcakes today.
Yes.
And this is after our good friend Greg Walker
Greg brought those.
Dr. Pepper
Tic
Tac mints. They taste like Dr. Pepper. So we got to make a trade today. I did not think that we would be talking about that on the show, but here we are. Val, thanks for being here.
Well,
you
thanks
can
for
come.
having me.
You can come every day.
Well, yes. And for those that don't know, and again, I'm pretty sure our department and the Bigfoot distributing of Dr. Pepper products, all of them, whether it's full octane, diet, zero, cherry, the special flavors, vanilla, blackberry, all of those. I am indebted to you, Bigfoot Distributing, because it's odd how many people in this department really survive off of it.
Well,
it's very, very concerning for some.
But Val, I'm just going to tell you, we appreciate Bigfoot having the wider range. Of course, Go Ducks drink Pepsi.
Oh, for sure.
And
let's just be
they're
honest.
all the same.
Yeah,
under the Bigfoot umbrella.
And I'm a diet Dr. Pepper drinker, and that's not always available on tap. It's just not.
Right.
So
it's true.
I have the concoction, the Bigfoot concoction. You go with half, maybe 3/4 diet Pepsi. Thank you again, Bigfoot. Thank you, Pepsi. And then you do a little 1/4 of the straight Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
So if it's not available,
I'm
very well aware of how pouring rights contracts work with this too.
Yeah.
So again, I thank you, Bigfoot, for making sure that we have whatever percentage is worked in there of the Dr. Pepper and diet. If there's one request, if we could up the percentage just a smidge of our fountains of diet. That's all I got.
Bravo.
Okay.
Bravo, Val. Now, what you didn't hear when Coach Kersten was in here is he was discussing how there's a work ethic that comes from the Val that's on his team, Valentine Valette.
I really walked in, thought he was talking about me, but then I realized, not me.
I wondered,
not
but
me.
the work ethic, and especially I think the diligence behind that last 2 minutes.
Was that really 2 minutes that I took up talking about Dr. Pepper?
100%.
Okay, sorry.
That's great. No, this is the content that we're here for. I just want to say, everything that Coach Kersten said about Val on the volleyball team clearly holds true for the sport administrator just based on that last 2 minutes.
Attention
right
to
there.
detail.
It matters, doesn't it?
It matters.
It really matters.
It's what does it take to win?
What does it take to win? What did it take to go on the Courts for Kids trip?
Oh my gosh. Full disclosure, I didn't look at the list of items, so this is all going to be very surprising to me of what we're going to talk about.
I sent her a list of things that we were going to talk about. She said she didn't even read it. So
Because I just like to flow like that. You know, you got to be ready.
We got pictures.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah, we have some pictures.
So Courts for Kids, hopefully the audience knows, oh, be still my duck heart. Hopefully our viewers know one of the fantastic things that University of Oregon Athletics does every single year under the leadership of Katie Harbert.
Shout out to Katie.
Yeah, shout out to Katie. She's a blessing. Is she partners with a nonprofit called Courts for Kids. It's actually based out of the Vancouver, Washington area with a gentleman named Derek Neslin, who actually played collegiate basketball, and really wanted to find a way for student athletes to have some sort of kind of study abroad experience. And as we know, it's very challenging with their schedules.
Sure.
And so he has partnered with a variety of different countries and local community members that might benefit from having a court.
Really cool.
It's a really simple idea. And this year I had the privilege of going with the group to the Dominican Republic. For those that know me, I do not camp. I do not do anything outdoors. Oregon is a beautiful place. I enjoy it with my eyes. My husband is the opposite. He would live outside if he could. So this was a stretch for a lot of us. And Katie does such a great job with you just have to prepare to not be prepared, if that makes any sense at all.
And you get to be analog for a while. Isn't that nice?
No phones.
Isn't that nice?
No phones at all. 10 days. You get off the plane. You clear customs. They hand you a bucket. You put your passport in it. You put your phone in it. They secure it.
Wasn't that nice?
You get it back when you're getting ready to fly back to the States. And it is a life-changing experience. I cannot say enough I know we have some really generous supporters, just Oregon Athletics overall, and there are some people that really do donate to make sure that this trip happens every year. It is, for the student athletes that participate, and even the ones that are around them, you could really see the difference. We had a lot of our sports were participated, at least a member or two from most of our sports. And just to see that, even with the student athletes being able to interact cross sport, I think a lot of times people think that that's just what naturally happens, but because of the rigor of their schedules, they're usually with their teammates. So this is a great way for them to branch out. And then really just talk and learn about each other and learn about themselves while really helping a community. And all you do is you really go and you pile through a lot of buckets of gravel.
Hard work, though.
It's a lot of hard work.
Yep.
It's a little muggy and hot there in the DR.
Yep.
But it was so rewarding. And we were in a tiny, tiny town. This is not like going to Punta Cana, people. Like, this is not a resort stay. But the people and the culture there were just amazing and beautiful. And it was hard to leave on that last day because you feel like you've integrated. But it's cool. Like, we even had a little reunion barbecue at my house where I tried to do the best Dominican flair menu as I could. The kids ate it, so I think I didn't do too bad. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. And it's just fun to be able to see how much, not only that you're able to give to the community, but how much you gain from going on these trips.
That's so cool. Val Johnson, our Deputy Athletic Director, I've been looking forward to having this conversation with you since we found out you were going to go on the trip. I mean, any time we have somebody in the studio that's been on one of these trips that's now many years running.
This is the 14th year.
14th year, yeah.
14th trip. They had to take 1 year off because of COVID.
Right. Really amazing. Everybody who has gone on one of these trips comes back with a similar feeling. And it's
for sure.
So powerful.
And it turns into quite the fraternity of people who have been on a trip, because even though each trip is so different, people understand that camaraderie that comes from just being alone in the world, but together, So the crazy thing for us, though, is so we went from this tiny town that literally just got electricity, I think 10 years ago, and we had a probably about an 8-hour layover in New York City. So again, bless Katie's heart. What does she say? Load them up on the subway. We're going Times Square. We're heading down there. Why not? So
that's cool.
It was a little bit of a shock to go from, you eat kind of the same thing for 10 days and then you walk down and you're in Central Park and you have decision fatigue. Like you don't know how to make a decision about what you're going to eat.
I get it. Val Johnson, Deputy Athletic Director, talking about that Courts for Kids trip over this weekend. Thanks to Heroes and everyone that made it possible again. We're going to get a timeout because we've yet to talk about volleyball. I got to try a cupcake. Stick with us.
I'll be here.
Okay. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Winning doesn't happen by accident. It takes a playbook, one that works when the pressure's on. For 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been that playbook for the injured, recovering more than $35 billion for our clients. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics, because in football and in the courtroom, the right playbook gets results. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio. Val Johnson's with us again. Already heard about Courts for Kids. We're talking about all kinds of things today. And the green and yellow scrimmage is coming up for Oregon volleyball. Still to come, talking Oregon football. Ducks back on the practice field today. Talking offensive line with Coach Alik Terry in a moment. But the season's approaching for Oregon volleyball. Oregon soccer first.
Everyone.
Tracy Joyner's on the show tomorrow, Oregon soccer head coach. Yeah, the season's approaching for volleyball, isn't it?
Yeah, we're in it.
We're in it.
We are in it. Yeah. Once August hits, we're just in it. I did have a moment. Was it on Monday actually? So was that yesterday? Monday? Where I had that moment of I need to get my life together for the fall. Like things just on my calendar. Just making sure I have everything on there. And
yeah, where are you going this year? Anywhere fun?
I haven't I don't know if I've said it on this show. Typically, when I travel with the teams, I try to go on the hardest trip.
Right.
And
makes sense.
Yeah, I try to go on the hardest trip. Things like Cancun with women's basketball would be great. I'm not going this year. It's over Thanksgiving, and I know. But it's like I never have wanted that assumption of like, oh, the administrator only goes on the.
No, I get it. I totally understand.
The easy trips so usually I tell whoever the director of operations is what's going to be the hardest trip, and whether that's because of travel logistics or competition or whatever it might be.
All the things.
That's the one that I like to go on because, one, it's just an extra set of hands.
Yeah.
Moving bags or picking up Chipotle or,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. Like, it's just an extra set of hands. But then also, too, you're able to really experience what the staff and the student athletes are experiencing day in and day out.
Yeah. That's leadership.
I try.
I'm serious.
And
I mean,
then-
it's big deal.
And I like to think then if it's going to be the hardest trip and I'm on it, then it's just going to be that much better. It's just going to be
Yes,
fun.
that's right.
Right? I'll bring the Dr. Pepper cupcakes.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, look, vibes. You're the vibe coach.
I try to be. I'm the hype woman.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you going to be sitting in the same spot courtside at volleyball this year?
Yes,
Good.
which is
No, that's a good thing.
I know, but it's causes so much stress for me. My ring just goes off the charts, and it tells me I've had hours of stress because there's no way to get it out when you're there at the table. At least when you're at a table, you're like talking in the mic, like analyzing the game. Like you could do all of that. Like at least you have an outlet.
Sometimes.
I have to sit.
Yeah. And ring
not
your fingers
say
together.
a word.
Do you have like any? Do you have a pen? Like, do you like at least have
I
something
have
to,
Zach's leg.
and you just like punch it?
I hit it. I kick it.
Okay.
All the things. And then Jerry, who you were talking about with Coach, Jerry sits in the first seat there, and he's doing whatever he's doing.
His
with
wizardry.
The wizardry of
Yes.
tracking every touch of a ball and everything. Sometimes I forget that Jerry's actually working.
Oh,
And
yes.
needs to actually pay attention.
Yeah. Understood.
And then I'll want to ask him something. I can't talk to him. And then I'll look to Zach to whisper something, and he's, going 2, 3, hit. But, if he's having to read it to whoever's doing the stats.
Can I offer you a stress ball?
No, you know why?
'Cause
You know
you
why?
throw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I can't do that.
Can I offer you? Let's see. I'm a fidget person myself.
I'm afraid if I had anything in my hands,
You'd throw it.
Like something would happen.
Okay.
Like it just.
We got to figure this
So
out.
I try.
I'm gonna workshop this year for you.
It's challenging.
Yeah. A lot of tapping the leg
Oh.
up and down. And
for sure.
Fingers, you can't.
Yes.
They're like
Yeah.
completely no blood flow in
The
the fingers.
thing though that I do like about it is when they switch.
Oh.
And then you get the
Then
other.
you're the other coach next to
Oh.
you. That's
And
a
then you're
unique.
like-
That's a unique to volleyball.
Yeah.
Thing.
Then you're like listening, staff dynamics. You could tell when one of our players is in another player's head.
Yeah.
That's the drama part that I like. I'm locked in when it like the other one I can't control what's happening on the other side now, but now I could really listen and get some
Insight.
dirt. I don't know. I always am worried though that when they think that I'm intently watching their huddle, that they think I'm trying to get plays or secret. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like you're talking about a different language. I'm looking at body language.
But those things matter too.
That's what I'm looking at.
This is why we have Val on the show. I learn something new every day.
High
Schedule.
level leadership and administration happening when I'm sitting there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it sarcastically. I am not.
Mm-hmm.
I am not saying it at all.
But I do enjoy that part.
Volleyball season, Green Yellow scrimmage, 1 o'clock on Saturday. Val will be there. This
I'll be
is
there.
also a rehearsal for Val to see how she handles the stress.
Yeah.
Who's going to win, green or yellow?
We are all winners.
That's right.
We are all winners.
I thought Coach's answer, if I just won't wear green or yellow, was smart.
Yeah, that's smart.
That
is smart.
It's a wise move. Volleyball season is officially here. Hey, a check-in on women's basketball, too. Another sport at the arena that you'll be with here in a hurry.
They're here.
Yeah, I know.
They're here.
And
That's
some
just
staff
what happens.
updates
Yeah.
since we last talked to you.
Yeah,
which is
we got
fun.
some good stuff happening for sure. I mean, the team looks really great. Again, we're very fortunate because much like having the veterans of Val and Alana back for volleyball, we have great veterans back on women's basketball side.
Sure.
And Coach Graves and the staff has done a really good job with retaining fantastic student athletes and really creating a really good team culture. And we'll see that, happening now. And I think, definitely, women's basketball has been building over the last few seasons. And now we're at this really, really strong, solid spot, not only with the roster, but also with our staff. there's been like some elevation there with some of the staff, and maybe things that people wouldn't see on the outside, but just like some of the duties of recruiting and, who's coaching who and that kind of thing. That's been really, really positive. And then we added a new member to our staff, Hope. She just got here a couple weeks ago. She's actually a former collegiate soccer player at Maryland. And we kind of make fun of her a little bit because she's all of 5'1", working with women's basketball. And she's mighty. She's definitely mighty.
That's right.
And so she'll be assisting with a lot of the player development stuff, off the court and engagement from an operations standpoint. And that's super important right now, especially as we're in this new era of, NIL and rev share. And, Brielle's really taking the lead on that from her operations role and being the point person for the team. So that the staff has come together in a way that I think our student athletes are really, really supported, and they look good. They look really good.
Val Johnson with us. Anything else we should highlight what we missed today?
Oh, my gosh. Well, obviously soccer's happening. We got distance. They're getting ready to go run wild and free and fast. And I always commend them. We actually had on our Courts for Kids trip, we actually had 2 distance runners. And we would work all day long, all day, hauling gravel. And then they'd be like, we should go for a run. I go, I have never in my life wanted to. I don't get that. And they just go for a run, just to run. I go, did you forget how many buckets of gravel and sand and water we were carrying?
You're not going to get the runner's high from that.
No, apparently not. So they would run. So, but it's just really cool to be able to see all these sports back in action. Another great year of Duck athletics.
She brought cupcakes. You can come back anytime.
I'll come back anytime.
We'll talk to you in about 6 weeks.
All right.
Val Johnson, Deputy Athletic Director. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. When we come back, Ducks are showing up on all kinds of preseason watch lists. That usually means you have a pretty good team. Offensive line coach Alik Terry breaking down that and more next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills, we're more than just a country club. We're where family, fun, and connection come together. Enjoy our award-winning course, vibrant year-round events, and the warm camaraderie of fellow members. Our all-inclusive event spaces offer both indoor and outdoor settings, perfect for weddings, business events, holiday parties, and more. Whether you're in search of championship golf, lively social gatherings, or simply a welcoming community to call home, Shadow Hills is the place where you belong.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joy Mack in the Country Financial Studio. My thanks to Trent, Kersten, and Val Johnson for joining us. Now pivoting to some Oregon football. Ducks will be back on the practice field this afternoon. We'll talk with Dan Lanning, Duck head coach, tonight. Have that for you on the show tomorrow. Yesterday evening, we talked to Joe Lorig, Duck special teams coordinator, and offensive line coach Alik Terry. We begin with Alik Terry, talking through the rotation on the O-line. A lot of eyes on the O-line this year. What's Alik Terry think of his spot?
Being a Joe Moore finalist the last 3 years obviously speaks for itself, but coming into a new year with a new group of guys, where do you want to see improvement the most along the offensive line?
The biggest improvement, obviously, with just cohesion. Obviously, it's going to be a new bunch, so trying to get that cohesiveness right now in fall camp, trying to find those guys the right mesh and the right pairs to be playing with each other. So more often than not, all these guys have played next to each other at some point over the last few years, other than Mikey Bennett. But now trying to find that cohesion so they can go out there hitting on all cylinders.
Coach, I was early thoughts on kind of what Tommy and Manny have shown, and is it realistic that a true freshman could start or play a big role in your guys' system?
No doubt. I think Poncho's a perfect example of that. Poncho, when we first got here, he rotated with Stephen Jones, and then later on that year with Marcus Harper, and both of those guys had successful careers. And speaking of Manny and Tommy, they've come out hitting the ground running, man. They're both, like I said earlier in spring, they're both physically gifted. Manny's obviously behind a little bit just because he didn't get here till later, but you can see the physical specimen they are. They love the game. They're constantly with each other. They're constantly trying to get more, constantly getting with Coach Walk and the law firm and making sure they get some extra meetings and getting that kind of stuff in now because they know their role could end up being much larger later on down the year. As much as they put in, it could happen maybe earlier in the year, who knows? But they've done a tremendous job with the amount we've thrown at them on purpose, and they've done a good job absorbing it, taking it on, asking the whole law firm for questions, and not being afraid to ask questions. I think young guys tend to be afraid to ask questions at times. They're not in that stage right now.
You brought up Poncho. Talking to Coach Maringer last week, he talked about, Poncho's coachability, talking about that story of Jerry Rice. Curious what you've seen from Poncho in terms of his leadership and coachability, especially with some young faces coming in to this offensive line.
I think it's a credit to the older guys. The standard that's been set, Poncho's got out of his comfort zone. You can hear him vocally at all the practice. You can hear him taking the younger guys under his wing. Obviously, he's had a relationship with Kaloy way longer prior to this, but it's cool to see the big brother, little brother relationship he has with him. But he also has it with Manny. He also has it with Tommy. He also has it with Solo. He also has it with Aiden Louis, some of our younger guys in our room. And he's providing that presence that he had it before, too, when he was a younger guy, but he's doing it times 10 for these guys. So I think Oregon football, the dividends is going to pay us. We might feel it later on, but he's done a tremendous job with our young guys right now. And a ton of credit to him for doing so, especially being an older guy. He could easily just be his own, doing his own thing, but he's taking full heed of being the leader of the room.
You've been in this position several years now, needing to fill a few starting roles, but having a few veterans come back. What have you learned in the past couple of years of being in the position, looking for starters, and kind of how you've been able to bring that forward this year?
I mean, now looking at it, I could say no situation is the same. Every year is some unique. I mean, when it first happened, you had Josh Connolly coming in his first game. It was cool to have his experience at Texas Tech, had some rough bumps then, and then ended up being in the career he had. Poncho got in early. You didn't even notice he was rotating at the time, and he's had the career he's had. There's just so many different situations, nuances. Nashad came. He didn't start for the whole first year. He was here the next year. He helped us win the Big Ten championship. So every year it's going to be slightly unique, slightly different. But I think this is one of our most connected rooms we've had. A lot of these guys have been here for a very long time, and it's cool to see the older guys giving the young guys the wisdom, even with competition happening in the room right now.
You put a value or add the impact it's had of having a center combination returning for the first time in the Lanning era with Poncho and Dante, and just how further along the chemistry is with the overall offense, or just how they're working together compared to last year where it was new for them to be together?
I mean, they've always had a really close relationship off the field, which was cool, and it led to the football field. But to hear how they talk football now, it's cool to sit around and be around them, obviously because they're still in college. But there is some flashes, when Bo Nix was walking around this building, he was always constantly in meetings and things of that nature, and it was cool because that was that quarterback. But now we have our quarterback doing it, obviously, and Dante, who knows our system like the back of his hand, knows it at the way that Coach Maringer knows it. And if he doesn't, he wants to ask questions to Coach Maringer, so he does match it. But it's also with Poncho as well. It's cool to hear Poncho in the middle of a unit meeting, and he's saying what the receiver might have or what a running back might have because he just cares about the totality of the offense. We do a lot of meetings and we do a lot of prep, so it's cool to see that he's absorbed it in a way that him and his quarterback, and like you said, for the first time for the University of Oregon to have it coming back, there's been a ton of elite quarterbacks, elite centers that played here, but to have these guys coming back together, we all are happy for it, truthfully.
As you're trying to build cohesion and chemistry, how much do you need to see
the same five together, the same guard and tackle together? What's the process of mixing and matching guys, but also making sure you get enough reps that you can make a honest evaluation of different groups?
Yeah, I say there's blind reps in our world as well, because you have like pod situations, you have half line situations, you have group situations. So people might only see it like in team reps and team settings, but there's times we're doing things in group settings and individual settings. So that way, those are ways to steal reps with those guys, but also training them multifaceted, not just training the guy on the left side, training the guy on the right side as well, because he may not get his reps in team for that week. It may be the week after, whatever the case may be, but he's gotten 15 or 20 of those reps in individual settings and group settings, things of that nature. So you still do at some point, like you said, we're going to start gluing it up a little bit more. Once guys start to separate themselves, I think that's been the coolest part of this camp. We got a lot of guys competing their tail off. Make my life harder. That's what I say all the time. Make my life as hard as possible. That's a good thing.
This program obviously has had turnover on the offensive line from players going to the NFL draft year after year, and yet it feels like every year this offensive line is ready to go. Mm-hmm. How much has the preparation year after year, getting the whole core group experience, helped make it easier for this transition for this group to be ready at the start of the season, and just how does it make it easier even coming into this season for you guys?
I mean, we talk about the standard being the standard. There's a standard for Oregon offensive line play that's been set here long before any of our guys have been here. I'm talking about the history of this place. Offensive line play has always been the foundation of this. So it's cool for me to be somebody who was a part of being a GA with the 19 group, with the Brady Aiello, Shane Lemieux, Jake Hansen, Throx, Panay, Dallas Wormack, and that room, Stephen Jones, that room had so many ballers. To see the standard they set, Ryan Walk was in that room. Alex Forsythe was in that room. There has been guys to see what that expectation looks like, and we tell our guys all the time, you want to reach that standard, but then let's exceed that standard as much as humanly possible. So we talk about doing stuff for our family. Obviously, you want to, but you should do it for the ones who did it before you, and then set the standard for long after you're gone. They're still upholding that standard. So that's a credit to the guys who put their blood, sweat, and tears into this place way before we even got here. We got to maintain that standard all the way through.
What was your evaluation of Tommy after spring, and then what has he done since then to right now to kind of work his way up the depth chart?
I mean, honestly, it's the stuff off the field. He's done a tremendous job with his body. Still got to get in shape. Obviously, he's a young kid, but he shed a lot of weight, put a lot of muscle on, and he's gotten not a complete totality of the offense, but he has a really good understanding of our offense where the rest of it is going to start to slowly and naturally come with repetition and film work. But to see his commitment, especially as a young freshman, I think there was a video on the internet with him and Manny doing extra work. Like, that's not for entertainment. That's they are every day, and that's the whole group. They're trying to find ways to get extra work constantly. So it's cool to see Tommy take heed of that, but not only worry about football, doing with his eating habits, doing it with going to sleep, doing it with hydration. And I think it's starting to pay dividends. That's usually the hardest part for younger guys, trying to move like a pro early because you don't know how to do it. But like you said earlier, credit to Poncho and our older guys showing those guys the way.
Because of injury, you didn't have Dave or Janoris in spring. I'm curious of kind of their status right now in fall, but also kind of what does it mean for this competition just to have a couple more guys back who've got some playing experience?
I call it like almost like a blessing in disguise. You never want those guys to be hurt, and you want those guys to always be healthy, but a credit to those guys of attack and rehab, and they've looked good up to this point, man. They really have, and it's good because obviously we have an elite training staff, but it's also them putting the work in. So, but like you said, it's a blessing in disguise in the sense of our young guys obviously get more reps because of it, right? Those guys have gotten some game experience, and they've hit the ground back running with that game experience. So it's going to be cool to see because Dave was in the hallway after we finished practice the other day. He's like, man, Trent balling, man. Trent playing with some power. I love to see that. That's real. Dave really said that. Dave sees it, but I know that's also fueling Dave to make sure he's staying on his game so that when he comes back and he's playing at the level that he's playing, it continues that way.
What sort of impact is Coach Kavanaugh having being back? And I'm just curious, like, how has your guys' relationship maybe evolved or developed from your earlier days working together with him?
OG Cav, that's a part of the firm. Like, there wasn't even a question, like, when the situation happened up the road, if he was coming back or not. Looked at Coach Lane and like, I don't know why you asking me. Come on. Like, you know what I mean? It's really family. And it was cool because obviously to come and have my opportunity, Coach Lane gave me an opportunity to be with Coach Cav and learn. I mean, he's been in the game for 30-plus years. Been a part of some of the best offensive line units in the country. Me, selfishly, I love it, but our guys get to take heed in that like a mug, man. So obviously the situation was unfortunate up the road, but it was also a blessing for him to go back up the road at a place that he had built so much history at, and to be able to get the knowledge, the football knowledge from not only myself, but our younger players being able to get that football knowledge to see how big the game is as far from an offensive line standpoint. I think it makes all of our guys have a different appreciation because he's quote-unquote old school. He's not old school, man. He just loves the game of football, but he loves offensive line play more than anything. So I think all our guys need that, especially in this day and age, man. You need to see some people who love offensive line. I think all the people in our law firm are people who are obsessed with the game of football.
follow-up, where is Dave in his recovery? Do you expect him to be back early in the season? And also with Zay, or what has he shown this offseason? He continues to grow and kind of play one of those roles.
Who was the last person? Zaire, yeah. No, Dave is cooking. Dave is cooking, man. Dave is back grilling. Dave was doing a really good job today and one-on-ones, and he's doing a really good job. He's done a phenomenal job of getting back and rehabbing, too. So I expect Dave to be around when it's time for ball to be played, too. And Zaire has done a tremendous job in the weight room. Zaire is probably one of our most explosive players. He got really elite feet. You ask anybody on defense, he was helping scout team last year. You go against Mateo and Tatum for a whole year, I bet your feet start to speed up. I mean, and he already has elite feet as it is, man. So to see him calm down, to see him trust his athleticism, it's been really cool to see the jump he's made since spring as well, because he's a physical player. He's brutal. He's violent dude. It's getting him to play with that calm control, and he's been doing it the last few months. So it's been good to see him. Once again, the guys, he taking heat from Janoris Wilson, him taking heat from Fox Crater, him taking heat from Poncho. It's been good because he's been applying it. He's going to apply it. He's going to get information from a lot of different pros, and he's always looking for more information. I think that's why he's going to have a ton of success.
Touched on it a little bit before, but what do you view as some of the toughest adjustments for a young guy coming in as a true freshman, and how have Tommy and Manny, embraced those things?
I think the speed of the game is one thing, but the adjustments, like I think I've said it before, with offensive line play, you have to do something physical and then be cognizant of what's going on around you as you're getting hit in the face or you're hitting somebody else in the face, and you have to see, that person's moving. So I think Coach Lanning does a phenomenal job, because our defense is always going to be one of the better defenses in the country, if not the best, but we do so much variety. We get to train our guys in our training with the variety of looks and the speed of the game being fast. So Manny just got out of high school. Tommy just got out of high school. But here's Mateo, here's Tatum, here's Bear, here's a bunch of guys who play at an elite level. So there's going to be ugly moments, but in a week later, there's going to be pretty moments. And a week later, hopefully it's even prettier than that, so on and so forth. So the training and preparing we do here, I think, helps put our guys in success. Like I said, we've had it done before where freshmen have played, but it's because of the preparation they do in the summer and spring.
I feel like you've talked about basically everybody in the room. So let's get the last one in here. Fox, how did the experience that he got last year, getting some real playing time, just kind of help him out heading into this year?
I think confidence is the X factor in everything. Like it was, you all remember when Panay was walking around here as a puppy, he didn't seem like one. Like confidence is a real thing. I think that USC game gave Fox that confidence he needed. Fox was one of the premier athletes in the country when he was coming out of high school, one of the best tackles in the country. For him to get that experience in the game, I think he truly felt like, okay, I'm ready for this. Because once again, you do it in practice, and he does it versus Tatum and Mateo, he does it versus Nas, he does it versus these guys. Until you do it under the lights and Austin in front of 70,000, do it at a different stadium in front of that magnitude, you don't know if you're truly ready. There's no teacher of the game like the game.
Isn't that the truth? Alik Terry, Oregon offensive line coach, meeting with the media, brought to you by our friends at the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Coming up, Dante Moore, a bunch of Ducks, preseason honors. They're going to continue to roll in for this team. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets.
It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Fall camp continues for Oregon football today. We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joy Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Dante Moore is on the watch list for the Werfel Trophy, college football's premier award for community service. We were just talking about the Courts for Kids trip, and the community service is now on the forefront of my mind around the Oregon Athletic Department. That Oh Heroes group does so much with Werfel Trophy. I think Dante Moore has a good chance to win that thing. And meanwhile, the Oregon football program also leads the nation with 5 players on the preseason watch list for this year's Lombardi Award. That's one of the most prestigious awards in college football. Tight end Jamari Johnson, offensive lineman Pancho Lalulu, outside backers Tatum Tuioti and Mateo Uyunglele, and defensive lineman Amari Washington are all on that Lombardi Award watch list. It honors the most outstanding college football lineman, whether on offense or defense, who displays exceptional performance and ability and embodies the character and discipline that Vince Lombardi championed throughout his life. Goes a little bit beyond what you do just statistically on the football field. That Lombardi Award, the Ducks have 5 on the preseason watch list, most of any team in the nation. Those preseason honors, I realize it's all preseason. The watch lists really mean nothing. What we care about is if they're on the finalists list coming up toward the end of the year. But the fact is that there's expectations around this Oregon football team because of players of that caliber. That's why you end up on these watch lists. That's a good thing. You want to be in the conversation. Ducks have a lot of players that are in the conversation. Tomorrow, Tracy Joyner, Oregon soccer head coach, going to join us. Their season kicks off Thursday. It's game week around the Oregon Athletic Department. We'll see you then.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs is probably the best you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more.